So with performance as the topic for today, we will get into directly to an activity and hear from people what they have to say. So the pivots and the pillars of performance, as rightly what Deepak Da said, is the elements of performance. What do you guys think are the elements of performance? I have a small tool set up at menti.com. If you could visit the menti.com and you could type in, if you type in this code there, you could directly be able to put in your views, and then you could be able to see everybody's view over here. Type in your ideas, your views, your thought process of what performance essentials are. What do you think are the pivots, the pillars of performance? And we could see a word maze come up for each one of us as the response comes in. So what you have to just do is go to, without exiting Zoom, you could just go to Explorer or whatever browser you have, type menti.com. Type in the code 28053336 and you'll get this question. Type in one word. What do you think is the essential for performance? And let's see what our team here, 69 of us, think. So contribute and we would be rewarded with the performance of all of us together. So 28 participants were able to go to menti.com out of 74. And if in case I looked at my performance of this activity to be measured, I would say now 30 out of 74, almost 40% participants have been able to participate in this activity to have just passed. Do you really want me to just pass, or do you want to take me to a first class or a distinction level? And if this is new, if this is difficult, that's the one of the important step of performance, isn't it? That you adapt, pick up, and do it.
Skill set, okay?
Yeah. And if you find this, why should I do it? It's okay if I don't do it. That's perfectly okay too. Well, now it's 50%. Thank you. 36 participants out of 70, 37 out of 74 have responded. And the information is shared transparently in front of you, where you could see the words like passion, attitude, consistency, dedication, which has come up towards the top. Apart from that, there are so many divergent views which have come up, and all these views are equally important. Today, we are just not going to cover qualities of individual people for achieving the peak performance, or performance as we call it, because that's just one of the elements of performance, and you guys would agree to that. What we are going to actually cover here is, let me go back to the PowerPoint and talk to you now about the 4 elements which we looked at. So all the qualities which we talk about comes under the people part of it, where we look at their potential, their passion, and all elements and all qualities which we talked about over here. So the green element, bright green, which we talk about the people, very important part of performance. We are not looking at machines. We are going to deal with people's performance. So we are not going to look at IT code. We are not looking at a software. So that's one. Then the second we look at it is diagonally opposite, which we call as process. So the backbone of any performance are these two, the people and the process. In process, we look at the planning, the preparation, the prototype and practice part of it, the 3 P's of process. Really, really important. For, it's very rightly said, a person with high potential, if doesn't follow the process, may not be equally successful as an average person who follows great process. And that's something which has delivered a lot of results in organizations. So after this diagonal of people and process, then we really look at something which we call as the performance monitoring and feedback loop. And if I do not have a purpose, this performance monitoring and feedback loop would be out of purpose, isn't it? And that's something which we are going to look forward to, that how important is the purpose, the P of performance, and is it really important to close the loop with a performance monitoring loop or a feedback loop? So this is the overall thing which we are going to have in our conversation today to bring about the next step of discussion and your views at two different levels every time. One is your role as an individual contributor, and your role as a manager is something which we are going to discuss in these 4 areas today.